Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson and you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero, all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And finally, it's most people's favorite. This is application, where we take the past concepts from other live lessons and we see how they apply to an actual real song that already exists. And since there's like 1,000 different ways to play any song, you're just going to work on the version that is appropriate for your level. So that might just mean playing one note at a time for right now. Or maybe you're working on chords or covering the full song. Or maybe you're just seeing how the song breaks down so you can better write and transcribe your own songs in the future. But whatever your level is, the goal is not this song. So even if you don't play the whole entire song, you'll get better by even attempting a little bit of it, and attempt it we shall. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and moderating the chat room is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what, Jamin? I finished an anime show called Attack on Titan,
Yes.
and then the last part of the last season isn't out yet, so read the manga for that, which is like the book version of anime.
A lot of words there. So the anime is the show thing. And then the manga is the book thing.
Yeah,
okay.
It's kind of like a graphic novel or like a comics thing.
Right.
It was really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I'm sure most of the world knows what you're talking about.
Well, maybe some of the world.
Yeah, okay. Well, cool. Well, today we're going to do the song. I don't know what the transition is from that into Misty.
There really isn't one. I got Misty reading.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Very smooth.
I think for a lot of people, well, this is a really long song. It's got like an AABA format to it. So that just means that there's going to be a lot of repeating. So it looks like a terrifying number of notes. But if you learn a little chunk of it, you'll know the majority of the song. Also, I think the assignment for a lot of people is just going to be to kind of get used to what the letter names are and stuff. If you're an absolute beginner, just getting used to like the names of B flat and G and D and all that stuff that might be the thing you work on for this week. So for right now, if you're an absolute beginner, ignore all the stuff at the top of all of this. All these guys here, don't do any of those. Those are chord symbols. That comes in on the intermediate and the advanced version of the lesson. But for right now, we just want to say the words out loud and play these notes. So I'm going to walk through those with you. And if you are advanced and you're already like starting to read some of the chords and you got some questions, I'll get to you in just a second. We'll be there before you know it. But we want to start on a B flat. That's that note right there. So this one right here is a B. This B flat is on any group of 3 black notes. It's the one all the way to the right. I would call that higher and that one lower. That's up and that's down. So I'd say the top note in a group of 3 is a B flat because the note right above that is going to be a B. Cool. So then if we go from there and we skip over a white note, that would be an A. And one more note down is going to be a G because that's the last note in the musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we're going to go from a B flat to a G, and then skipping over 2 white notes, we would land on a D. And we're going to say out loud, look at me. Saying the words is more important than you think it is. That's going to help you like keep track of where you are in the song because it's a big, long song. If you're not saying the words out loud, you got a much, much higher chance of getting lost in the song because that's totally a thing in jazz is not knowing where you are in what we say in the form. Okay, so look at me. Those are your first 3 notes. And then we're going to go down to a B flat. So the more I zoom out, the messier it gets and the scarier it looks. But just pay attention, again, to the letter name and the word. So then we've got another B flat, but you can hopefully tell that this B flat right here is higher than this B flat right here. So we want a lower B flat. We're going to go down to this B flat right here. So look at me. I'm as... I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so we can get up to D flat. D flat's going to be the word help. And then we're going to go all the way up to a C. And hopefully you can see that this C right here is slightly higher than this B flat right here. So the note that we started on is that one. We want the C that's even higher than that. So that's kind of how this works. Like the higher up the dot is, the higher up the note's going to be. And the lower the note is, the more to the left it's going to be. Look at me. I'm as helpless. And that's a huge jump. That might be your assignment right there is just practicing that with the track, trying to get that far, get that little, that jump right there, that little section down. In fact, let's try that with the track. The track's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm as helpless. We'll try it one more time. This should come in on beat 4, so it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. One more time. Did you just play a different track? Yeah. Okay, play me the one time through track. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. I'm as helpless. Cool. Then we got a bunch of C's in a row for as a kid. And then we've got 10 up a tree. So for me, like keeping track of all of these, like not doing one note at a time, but kind of looking at a phrase and going, okay, I'm going to need all of those notes right there, and just kind of try to memorize those, look at all of them, like visualize them all in my head, so I can play through the thing that I'm already looking at instead of trying to memorize, okay, it was a C and then a B flat. Where's B flat? Okay, and then it was a G. Oh, that's right. So just taking that whole phrase and trying to memorize that whole thing, that's going to help a whole lot. And we're almost through the first line. Good job. And I feel like I'm... The next one's a B flat, I think. So I would try to memorize all of those right there. And I feel like I'm cling. All right, so then lots of shapes to memorize, but actually that makes it a lot easier than if it was just like individual notes and you had to memorize. There's 3 of these in a row, and then it goes to the right, and then it goes to the left. So the fact that it's all going in order, if this is your first song, trust me, that's actually a big help to us. So all of that, clinging to a cloud is B flats and A flats. I can't understand. So we got a big jump right there from der to stand. Watch out for that one. Can't understand. I also do want to point out here, in case this is your first time doing a song with us, these lines right here are called ties. That's not just here at Learn Piano Live. That's everywhere you will find sheet music. You'll find ties. That just means that these two look a lot happier because it looks like a smiley face, and also means that these two are actually just one note. So it looks like 2 G's, but it's actually just one single G that you're supposed to play there, which is why you've only got one word, can't, for those 2 G's, because there's not 2 G's, there's just 1 G. Can't understand, same thing there, those 2 E flats are tied together. I get misty just holding your hand. Just like that. Let's try that much with the track. If you only got the first couple notes down, that's fine. Your assignment is to get all of the notes that you can currently do plus 1. Just focus on one more note. We'll try it with the track. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Okay, if you make it that far, then we're just going to repeat the exact same notes and say different words. Walk my way. This is the second A section. I'll talk more about that in a second. And 1,000 violins begin to play. Same notes. Or it might be the sound of your hello. That music I hear. I get misty the moment you're... And then this one's going to end on an E flat instead of a G. And then if you want to pause that for a second, those were the 2 A sections. So different words, same notes. We'll call this section A right here. And then we'll call this section A also. The first A section ends with a G right there, and the second section ends with an E flat right there. So those are the only 2 different notes, the only one different note of the 2 sections. So we got 2 A sections. We've got A and then A. The first one ends on a G, and the next one ends on an E flat. Then we've got the B section. Yeah, cool. So then the last A section is going to be right here. I just want to make sure I wasn't setting in the wrong direction. So the B section is going to be right here, but it's kind of like you kind of lead into it. So the B section kind of starts over here, even though the chords for it, which will make sense when we get to the intermediate version, kind of starts like right in that area right there. So officially the B section starts right there, and then we're back to the A section. So if you could play those first 2 lines, then you've already got 75% of the song down. All you have to do is the B section, because the last A section is going to be the same thing. Let's talk about that B section here. We're going to play a bunch of notes leading up to a ton of D flats. So that's going to be the beginning of the B section. We got to lead up to that with an E flat, an F, a G, and a B flat, and a C. So all of those notes right there are going to be the words, you can say that you're leading me on. So those ones right there, that takes us to the B section. You can say that you're leading me on. And then we're going to go up to an F flat. I don't think we've seen one of these in a very, very long time. But it's just. This one right here is an F flat. It is unnecessarily complicated. It's just an E. But technically, if you go from F and then you like play the note that's right next door to it, that would be F flat. And this is the note that's right next door to it because there's no black note in between. So that's F. That's the note that's slightly lower than F. So technically, that's an F flat. Why would we put that in a song? You don't want to get into it. It's actually simpler this way. That way you don't have like E flats and E's in the same little phrase. But anyway, F flat right there. But it's just what I want you to do is all C's. So again, the B section, trying to zoom in here to just that little chunk right there. The walk up, you can say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. So these are kind of the clusters of notes that I deal with in my head, like trying to memorize each section, each cluster of notes. Then we're gonna play the same thing, but this time we're not gonna go to the D flat, we're gonna go to the D. So, don't you notice how? This time we're gonna play D's and we're almost done with the B section and we're already getting to repeat notes. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? And then that's why I'm then following you. And then we're into the A section. On my own, I would wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my... Oh, that's where we're missing notes. Yeah, I thought so. We're missing a line in there. That's no good. Actually, let's go ahead and fix that right now. We'll be right back. I want to give you that middle line in there, but you've got all the rest of the notes here. See you in a second. Oh, we're going to go to the bottom. Yeah, that thing right there. All right, see you in a second. You'll see Kendra. Okay, now we have that middle line in there. So we've got all the notes. Never knowing my right foot from my left. That's that line that was missing before. If you're in the archives, you've already got this in your PDF. My hat from my glove. I'm too misty and too much in. And then this is the one that ends on the E flat. So this is like the second A section. So that's all of the notes. If we try that along with the track right now, if you miss a bunch of notes, that's fine. Just pay attention to when we come back to the A sections, because you probably have at least that much of it down. And so we can just play that part together, and then all the rest of the notes that you can. I'll play the B section for you and let you know when we're coming back to the A section. Get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the ones that you miss. Let's go. 1, 2, go. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just the second A section. Here we go. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello that you sick I hear. I get misty the moment you're. Now we're gonna lead into the B section using those notes that we were working on before. You can say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Same thing again. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you. Okay, last A section. Let's go for it. On my own, would I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove. I'm too misty and too much in love. Okay, so that is all the notes for the melody, and in the intermediate version and the advanced version of this lesson, we're going to talk about the chords and how to play this as a piano solo and stuff. But for right now, that's all for the beginner's level, which means it's time for the feature of the day.
That's right, Jamin. And today's feature of the day is the voicing of the day, which is tense.
We're almost there. We're
almost there.
Okay, yes,
it's getting
tense.
there.
So, in any key, I'm going to stay in the key of C for right now. In any key, tenths are important and a kind of a cool way to come up with a melody or to play a melody that you already know. So, I'm going to play my regular melody here. I'd play if that was my melody right there. Below that, I can play tenths. Let me play that same melody here. So tenths is just thirds. So it's just like skipping over one note, but an octave away. So right there, it's called a tenth because we've got 10. It involves 10 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you just skip over a note and then go down an octave, then that right there is a tenth, and it sounds really, really pretty in almost all cases. So you can use this for even soloing over this thing here. If we just stay in the key of E flat like we are for the for this song, all E flat, and then we just play tenths in here, right there. That would be actually, if you want to zoom out there for a second, I'll play you some tenths in the melody with the track. Let's try that just so you can see what it's gonna sound like. I'm just gonna play the melody up here and then stay a tenth away down here. Check it out. So that's it's not octaves. It's a little bit more difficult than octaves, but it's just all based on the melody, making sure that I'm 2 notes away and an octave away after that. So a third plus an octave, a tenth away, a cool way to come up with some melodies. And then you can also just experiment with using tenths in your left hand as well. Ooh, that's probably an intermediate thing. But if you played the chords with tenths in your left hand, that sounded really awesome too. In fact, yeah, let's just go ahead and go to the intermediate version of the lesson right now, and I'll show you what tenths would look like in the left hand. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.